Oh my gosh, net. Net. Oh my god.
KGB legend.
Freaking me, dude. Look at that.
Come back. There you go. Yo, what's going on, guys? December is here. It's chilly. Some days are really sunny. Some days are just cloudy, wet, nasty, windy. These are my top 5 baits for the month of December. This is a month where you can 100% catch your PB, whether you're catching them on a glide bait, a crankbait, a nice finesse jig, an unreleased mooch minnow, or just any minnow style bait, or even when they're chasing shad up shallow with a spinnerbait. This is my top 5 baits. Let's get into it. Right here's a clip of me catching a 3.5 pounder on a spinnerbait up shallow when they're chasing bait on a laydown.
Does it have to be deep?
Oh my god, Biggin! Biggin! Get the freaking net. Get the net. Get the net. Oh, there's another one. Look at him. Oh my god. Dude, there's so many like that size. Had them both. I almost had them both. Did you see them? Oh my god, I almost had them both in the egg.
Look at that spinnerbait, guys. Alright guys, my number 1 bait for the month of December is a spinnerbait. Now, this isn't your ordinary spinnerbait that you can just go buy at the market. This is a War Eagle mouse spinnerbait. This isn't just your regular spinnerbait though. This is a 1/2 ounce screaming spinnerbait. So you see all that weight right there? This is a much more compact spinnerbait. Smaller blades, smaller wire, more compact, but most of the weight is right there. That's what makes it so much more finessey. Now, wintertime, these fish, they're really picky sometimes, and you want to go with a more smaller shad imitator. So whenever they're being picky, I don't like a bunch of action with my bait. So I go ahead and throw a trailer hook on there and always get hooked up. Now, a spinnerbait is a bait you can catch from shallow, even deep if they're chasing bait. I throw a spinnerbait on a 7.2 medium moderate action rod with a 7 gear ratio reel. This is a Shimano SLX 7.2 gear ratio reel. I've got it paired up with 20-pound braid to a 16-pound leader. Now, this is my go-to spinnerbait rod. It's just got a crazy rod tip bend. Like, it's so forgiving, but it's also, it loads up all the way down to here. So as y'all can see, all this green is when the hook sets, and down to here is when it starts to set it in the fish's mouth. So it's got that good parabolic action. But right here is my number 1 bait, a spinnerbait. All right, my number 2 bait for the month of December, hands down, is a glide bait. Let's see how they catch them. Cast like that.
All right, let's do this. Oh, oh, net, 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 get the net. 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 Oh! He ate it right here. I watched him. Oh my god, guys.
Alright guys, just caught this absolute beautiful bass on this Bucka trick shad. That's good. Buka Bucka. 6-inch. We're gonna weigh this beautiful fish right here. Toad right here. He's not giant, but he's solid. All right, zeroed out, guys. 3.44. All right. There was one got on camera right there. Whether we're throwing a compact Bent Bills Custom Lures 5-inch mini glide, a Bucka trick shad with that smaller, but this is a 6-inch. So we're going from 5 to 6-inch, or a KGB Swimbaits Legend 9-inch glide bait. Glide bait fishing is something people are almost afraid to do because I'll tell you one thing, they're not cheap to buy. The combos are not cheap. But if you want to catch big fish, then I highly encourage you invest in a good combo and a couple of good glide baits. This guy right here is $200 just for the bait. This mini glide is $100, and this one is only $40 right here. All of them are great. Now, the combo I throw it on is a 6 cents broomstick, 710 extra heavy. It's just a moderate fast. This rod is, it's a broomstick, all right? It's okay, it's misleading, it's not heavy, but it's got like, I'll tell you what, this thing is stiffer than a wood. Like, it's got a little bit of bend for that forgiveness of the treble hooks, but other than that, this son of a gun, it sticks them. It's really beautiful looking rod. I mean, you can see right there, it's got the 6 on it. I got it paired up with the Shimano 300 Corrado K in the 6 gear ratio with 20-pound CR and VizX. Now with the bucket trick shad, I throw it on a 7.6 medium heavy fast Johnny Moore's Carbon Light 2.0 rod with again a Corrado K, but in the 200 size with still 20-pound CR and VizX. This is only a 6-inch bait, it's $40, I'll get you one. Now for this little guy, the 5-inch Bent Bill Custom Lures low bender, I throw it on another Guggen reaction rod. Now this is the Kicking Their Bass reel, it's a 7.5 speed. I got it paired up with 12-pound P-line extra strength mono. Now with glide baits, even smaller ones, I like mono because sometimes whenever I'm downsizing glide baits, I'm doing that for a reason. They're short striking it, or not completely committing to the big one. So mono gives me that extra stretch for whenever they're trying to attack the bait and not quite getting it, because it's a little more forgiving, including with this parabolic bend that this rod has, and that mono stretches, gives them time to get it. Now, before we get started, here is some clips of me catching absolute toads with Jig Head Minnows.
Wow. That's big. Get net. Net. That's a bass is a big one. Yeah, that's a big bass. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. Look at that one. I got it. Net?
Let me net it.
Oh my gosh, that thing is heavy. Okay.
That's the kicker.
Alright guys, so as y'all saw, Jig Head Minnows catch absolute tanks. Whether you're throwing 4.25 inch, 3.5 inch, unreleased by the way, this is the Rapala Crescenti Mooch Minnow. I know a bunch of guys trying to get their hands on this. Now, I got it off this website that was a little bit sus, but I mean, came in, so that's all that matters. These are actually Elastec, which is really freaking cool. Because as you know, if you have live scope, if you're throwing Jig Head Minnows, you know that these freeloaders, I mean, they're somewhat durable, but I mean, this is after one fish. I mean, yes, it was a 3.5 pounder, but that's after one fish. He tore it up. But these guys, these are awesome. They're Elastec. Now they are, you know, flexible. They're durable. Only problem is they don't screw onto these VMC heads. That's what I use. All right. So with the Crescenti freeloader, I throw them on a 1/4 ounce VMC head, depending on how deep I'm fishing. Now, with this Mooch Minnow, it being Elastec, I'm probably gonna throw it on this Queen's Tackle 1/4 ounce tungsten jig head. The reason being is it doesn't have that screw lock. So we're actually gonna put it on right now. We're just gonna thread through the middle of the Mooch Minnow. Now these are a little more challenging to get on, but they're not impossible. If you overdo it sometimes, you can rip it a little bit. And what you can do is you can kind of push them up on the side like that. That's pretty dang good looking right there, if you ask me. That thing's gonna go side to side. It's going, that little pintail, it's pretty good. So these are my number 3 baits for the month of December. And the combos I throw them on is a 6 cents Milliken Series MF rod. This is a 7.4 medium light moderate fast, and I got it paired up to a Shimano Sedona 2500 size reel. It's got 15-pound Sunline braid to a 10-pound Seaguar leader. Next, now I've always got 2 rods on deck for my Jig Head Minnows because I'm a Jig Head Minnow lover. Throw in different size, different presentations. This is a Lew's Custom Light 7-foot medium light extra fast action rod paired up with a Shimano Sedona, again 15-pound Sunline braid. This is sinking braid, and I put it on a 10-pound leader. Now if I'm throwing usually lighter head like a quarter and below, I'll throw it on the 7-foot medium light, and if I'm throwing anything more than 1/4 ounce, I'll throw it on my 7.4 medium light. But as y'all saw, it catches tanks. Now we gotta get onto the number 4 bait because this bait is a really fun bait to throw. Once again, we're gonna show me catching a fish on this bait. Right here, rock crawler, crankbait, it's a Spro. I don't really know what color this is. I forgot, it might be spring crawl, but I'll show you what it catches. Oh my gosh, look at the net, that's a big one. Is it? I don't think so.
Here, slow it down, let me remind it.
No, it's not a big one.
It's a good spot.
Now that was a clip of me in a fishing tournament when we needed to get a limit. And anytime I'm going for a bigger bite or trying to get numbers, this is the bait I go to. A crankbait. Preferably when it's, you know, windy, overcast. Now it works in the sun, but I get more translucent color. But if I'm fishing the conditions with the crankbait, it's gonna be a bold color, like that one. Now when throwing this rock crawler, I throw it on my Jacob Wheeler Signature Series rod, 7.6 medium heavy cranking rod, and it's the moderate action. It's a ducket rod, you know, Jacob Wheeler. It's pretty cool. Everything about this rod's awesome. It's got a good parabolic bend to it. I mean, it's pretty dang, it's got some good tip. For it being a 7.6, dude, this thing bends. I got it paired up with a Shimano XT, or Shimano SLX XT, and I've got it on 12-pound mono. Once again, I like that P-line extra strength. It's cheap, it's very strong, and it doesn't really sink, but like for mono, it gets down there compared to other monos. But always have a good drag with the crankbait. I throw it, of course, on a 6-speed reel. You don't want to overpower that crankbait. You want it to really get between each rock, and you don't want to speed it too much. But once again, this is my number 4 bait, Jacob Wheeler ducket rod on a Shimano SLX XT 6-speed. Last but not least, a finesse jig with a Strike King Rage Crawl on the back. Here's a clip of me catching a donkey on it.
Big net. Let's go.
So as you saw, finesse jigs catch bass. Don't be afraid to go smaller. A lot of guys are like, go big, just that one bite's all you need. Well, I mean, if you're gonna get one bite, a 1/2 ounce finesse jig will get you that bite plus more, and big uns, as you saw. Now, that's a green pumpkin and purple, and with the green pumpkin, just rage crawl. This is a 7.6 medium heavy fast action rod with a 200 size reel. I like that bigger reel handles to crank them in, with 20-pound Seaguar and VizX. All of these baits that I showed y'all, whether it's a Glidebait, Spinnerbait, Jig Head Minnow, rock crawler, or a jig, all of those guys, I throw main lake points, deep water, shallow water, chunk rock, lay down trees, standing timber, docks, I mean everywhere. Now, that's where these top 5 baits will work as long as you're around fish. You can't expect to go out to your local like lake, pond, or river and just cast them out in just the blue, the lake, and just expect to catch fish. You gotta have pattern to these baits. Now, I believe y'all can do it. Look again for those main lake points, those deeper docks, standing timber, wind-blown points / banks, and just structure. You know, fish are going to be around structure. They're animals. They don't want us to be in open water. But that's going to do it for today's video. If y'all enjoyed, please hit that like, subscribe button. It really means a lot. I try and put out the best 5 baits that I have my best success with and share my secrets and tips with you. But once again, if you guys enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe button. I'll see y'all later. Peace.